To this now, the United Nations Children's Fund, Unicef, is applauding South African corporates for teaming up with the government to combat the coronavirus. Various sectors have been dealt a major blow by the pandemic. To discuss this further, I'm joined now via Skype by Unicef's Muriel Mafiko. Muriel, thank you, and good afternoon to you. So tell me about your role in sort of channeling where corporate South Africa can put their shoulder to the wheel. You work in various areas of need in communities, so you have a sense of where the greatest need is. And what have you been saying to these corporates? Where should they be putting shoulder to the wheel?
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much for having me on the program this afternoon. And I would like to echo our sincere gratitude to the corporate sector in South Africa. We are all aware of the impact of the COVID-19 in South Africa. We are aware that all sectors are impacted. But what is also clear is that children are disproportionately impacted when we have epidemics such as COVID-19. We know that children are facing disruptions just like adults. They are locked down just like adults. And there are unique and peculiar vulnerabilities that children experience in these settings. So we are concerned about the protection of children. We are concerned about nutrition, their access to good food. We are concerned about their overall health. We are also concerned about protection and prevention of violence against children in these settings. Access to safe water and sanitation is not obvious, in all settings. We are aware that there are families that do not have access to clean water. So these are some of the areas that we've been discussing with the corporate sector in South Africa.
And in fact, they fall in line, some of them, Muriel, with work that you've already been doing. I mean, tell me about the work that you've been doing around helping informal settlements and access to water, water and soap, because we keep talking about wash your hands constantly.
Yeah. Yes. So through our partnership with Unilever, which has just been confirmed, we will be implementing hygiene promotion in informal settings. It is important that we don't only talk about hand washing with soap. We should actually ensure that the most vulnerable families, the most vulnerable children, actually have access to some of these resources. So our partnership with Unilever, and would like to thank the CEO for Unilever, Luco Make, for coming through and helping South Africa at this critical moment. So in water and sanitation, this is where we are going to be focusing on informal settings to make sure they can actually access supplies as well as clean water to help them to adhere to hygiene.
Lastly, tell me about the work around ensuring that access continues to psychosocial support. The work around Childline, for example. What's the conversation there between the private sector and an organization such as Childline with your involvement?
So with Childline, we are supporting Childline to expand their services. We know that Childline runs a 24-hour helpline, which is free to use for everybody. It is a critical lifeline for children. We know that when children are in locked down situations, there is a risk that cases of violence and abuse can occur. So through the partnership with Momentum, who have come through very quickly to help us work with Childline to expand their services. So we are going to see more counselors who will be available to provide online support. We are also going to see more work around prevention of violence against children as well as gender-based violence. So that is another partnership that we have, which is addressing a critical area for children in South Africa.
Fantastic. Muriel Mafiko, thank you so much. She is the Deputy Representative of UNICEF here in South Africa. To this story.